What's up guys, welcome back to another video here at Achieve Academy, and today we'll be tackling inequalities. Stick around to the end and I promise you, it is this easy. Our learning outcomes for today is to understand what an inequality is and how to solve them, along with representing them on a number line, and to understand how to solve algebraic inequality equations. So, inequalities are the relationships between two expressions which are not equal. The symbols used for the inequalities are the ones shown on screen here, and many of you may refer to them as crocodiles. In this lesson, we will focus on solving inequalities algebraically and representing them on a number line. As you can see here, we have two inequality number lines. In the first inequality number line, we can see that n is less than 1. So we draw a hollow dot as it is not equal to, and we draw a line going from 1 all the way down into the negatives. In the second inequality, it states that n is greater than 1. So we draw a hollow dot and a line from 1 all the way into the positives. These huge number lines are the exact same as the previous number lines I just showed you, but now our dots are filled in as we have a line underneath our inequality sign. This line underneath our inequality sign means less than or equal to in our first equation and more than or equal to in our second equation. The line simply means equal to. So if we were asked to find values of n, we would say n could be 1 or any number underneath 1 in the first equation, or n could equal 1 or anything greater than 1 in our second equation. Once again, I've taken some example questions from Maths Genie, link down in the description as always. Have a go, pause the video and unpause when you've done. So, in question 1, it states that n is an integer such that n is greater than or equal to minus 2, but less than minus 3. Write down all the possible values of n. As we know that is greater than or equal to minus 2, we know that it's going to be minus 2 up to 3, but not including 3, as it is less than 3. So we will simply write minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, and 2. In question 2, it asks us to write down the inequalities shown on the number line. As the dot is hollow, we know that is not an equal to. This is just a greater than or less than. As the line is going negative, we know that the number will be less than 2. So our answer would be x is less than 2. As you can see on screen, sometimes you are given inequalities where you have two numbers and your placeholder value, such as x in this question, in the middle. Here, x is greater than minus 5, but less than 6. So we draw hollow dots, as we have no inequality signs which are equal to, and we draw a line connecting both dots. So we have a hollow dot at minus 5 and we have a hollow dot at 6, and we connect them, and this is how you would show it in an exam. Remember to separate the inequalities if you are struggling. So as you can see at the bottom, x is greater than minus 5, and then your separate one, 6 is greater than x. It is important to separate the inequalities when, say, we have x minus 2 in the middle, as you would have to work out both inequalities separately, as you will see in questions. Inequalities can be shown in different ways, but can mean the same thing. It is important that you can tell the difference between the both. As you can see in the example here, x is less than 5 can be written with 5 at the beginning and x on the other side, but with x in the beginning and 5 on the other side. But it is very important that you change the inequality sign when you're asked to rearrange. Remember, you solve inequality equations the same way as you would algebraic equations, but you just write the right inequality sign instead of equals. If you write the equal sign when working with inequalities, you will be marked wrong in an exam, as this is not what it is asking you to do. Here are some more examples on inequalities. Have a go, pause the video and unpause when you've done. So, part A of the question states, on the number line, show the inequality x is greater than minus 2, but less than 4. As we have no equal to signs in our inequalities, we know that both our dots will be hollow. So we simply draw this graph as it has hollow dots over -2 and 4 and a line connecting them. In part B, we are asked to write down the inequalities shown on the number line. As it is a filled in dot, we know it is an equals to sign, and it is greater than -2. So we simply write x is greater than -2. So, in the second question, it asks us to solve the inequality of 4x is less than x plus 6. Here, we must rearrange this inequality equation to get all our x's on one side to then simplify. So, if we minus x from x plus 6 and 4x, we get 3x is less than 6 or equal to. We then divide by 3, as both numbers are divisible by 3, to get x is equal to or less than 2. So we then draw that on the number line with a filled in dot and the line going from -2 down to -5. As the number line finishes at -5, we stop at -5. But in theory, it carries on forever. Here now are probably some of the hardest exam questions you'll probably be asked on inequalities. Have a go, pause the video, and unpause when you've done. So, in question 1, it says 2y minus 3 is greater than or equal to 1, but less than 9. Write down all the possible values of y. So first, we must separate our inequalities so we can rearrange them and then divide y, as we have 2y. So we rearrange the first bit of the inequality to say 2y is greater than or equal to 4, to then say y is greater than or equal to 2. We then rearrange the second bit of the inequality to say 12 is greater than 2y, to then write 6 is greater than y. As we both have a common term of y in both our inequalities, we then write y is equal to or greater than 2, but less than 6. So our answers would be 2, 3, 4, and 5. In question 2, it asks us to solve 4x minus 4 is less than or equal to 7x minus 19. Here, we would rearrange an inequality to get all our x's and our normal numbers on the same side. So, we first minus 4x from both sides to get 3x minus 4 is less than 3x minus 19, and then we plus 19 to get 15 is less than or equal to 3x, to then get our final answer of 5 is less than or equal to x. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of today's video on inequalities. I hope you have found how to work out inequalities for yourself and to know that it is that easy to do in your exams. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, helps a lot, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.